Today's March 27th, and today's quote is called "Putting Your World on Hold." Chanting means to enter Krishna's world and put your world on hold. You know, it's so ironic sometimes when we're chanting, instead of being absorbed in Krishna or Krishna Lila or something about Krishna, we're absorbed in what am I going to do later today, the problems I have to solve, the appointments I have to meet, etc. So we're actually absorbed in our world rather than Krishna's world. And that's, to me, that's quite ironic because we're chanting Krishna's holy name. In more advanced stages of japa, a devotee can see Krishna Lila. And in more advanced stages, a devotee enters Krishna Lila. He's not just seeing it, he's part of it. So, of course, that's a high stage. Namarupa Guna Lila. It's the last stage. But obviously, when we're chanting the holy name, we should be absorbed in Krishna, if not in his Lila, just feeling his presence. As we said yesterday, aware of the relationship. The qualities, the form, it may come, it may enter, that's desirable. But we really have to be conscious that when we're chanting, to leave our world, to leave our life, and put it on hold while we're chanting. So sometimes I like to tell devotees, think of your life as a number of various light switches. Work is a light switch, family is a light switch, this is a light switch, that is a light switch. So when you sit down to chant japa, internally just turn off all the light switches of your life. And by turning down the light switches of your life, then you can be absorbed in Krishna rather than your life. And I know this may sound simple and maybe you think it's not so effective, but the idea is that the mind usually has free range. So our mind is thinking about so many things. What do I have to do now? What do I have to do later? What didn't I finish yesterday? What about this problem I'm having with this person? How will we resolve it? What about this problem I'm having with my health or my finances or my other relationships? We're always thinking how to deal with them, aren't we? And so when we chant japa, if we don't do something to control the mind or put it in another mode, the tendency for the mind to continue thinking as it always does continues. It's natural because we haven't really consciously made an effort to say, okay, now during these next 2 hours, we don't think of these things. These things are off limits. So by going internally and thinking of your life like light switches and internally turning one switch off, you've made an internal shift that could make it much easier to be absorbed in your japa, because internally you've turned your life off. Another thing I tell devotees, similar to this, is that let's say your day begins at 7 and you get up at 5. So internally you can tell yourself, let's say today is Tuesday. So it's Tuesday, I've woken up at 5, but internally Tuesday hasn't begun because my day begins at 7. That's when I get ready for work or school or whatever it is I do in my service, let's say. This is more for people who live outside the temple. But let's say your day starts at 7, you have to start getting ready. So internally, your day hasn't started. Today is not Tuesday. What is today? It's nothing. It's japa time. It's going into Krishna's world. We don't have to worry about Tuesday. Tuesday has not yet begun. So if you can internally make this adjustment and just sit down and think, I'm going to chant my rounds. Tuesday starts at 7 o'clock. Now it's 5 a.m. I have 2 hours of free time. So I can go into Krishna's world. I can enter into the transcendental world. I don't have to remain in this world because today hasn't started yet. So sadhana, early morning sadhana, is all about today hasn't started. And it's just about you and Krishna going into his world. I often say sadhana is a means of transcending your world and going into Krishna's world. Now, it's interesting because some self-development coaches, they say you should get up early and you should go into a kind of a meditative state, and part of that meditation is how to achieve more during the day. So you're actually thinking about your day and how you're going to do more, which is not bad advice, but I think as the first thing you're going to do in the morning, it's not good advice. So I like to say, when you go into chanting, you go into Krishna's world and you transcend your world. So you leave your world on hold, you go into Krishna's world, and that way you can get more easily absorbed in japa. And it actually works because, as I said before, a lot of times all we really need to do is just have a little conversation with the mind, basically saying, now, these next 2 hours, this is what we're doing, so just take it easy and don't worry about anything else. We'll come back in 2 hours and deal with it. As simple as that sounds, it can make a huge difference. So why don't you try it, see how you like it, and if you benefit from it, it helps your japa, that's fantastic. And it will, if you actually do it right. Hare Krishna.